The Curious Pig. Once upon a time, there was a small piglet named Percy. He lived in a farm with his mother and siblings. However, Percy was always curious about the outside world. Whenever he saw the other animals on the farm, he wondered what life was like beyond their little yard. One day, Percy decided to explore the world outside of his farm. He snuck out quietly while his mother was taking a nap, and started walking down the dirt road. As he walked, Percy met many new animals, cows, horses, rabbits, and even some wild birds. He was fascinated by everything he saw and heard. The sun was setting when Percy finally felt tired and hungry. He realized that he was lost and didn't know how to get back to his farm. Just then, a kind old dog came along and asked him where he was headed. Percy told him about his farm and how he had gotten lost. The dog smiled and said, "Don't worry, little one. I know the way back to your home. Let's go." The dog then led Percy back to his home, much to the relief of Percy's worried mother. Percy realized that even though he had had an adventure, the safety and comfort of his home were important too. From that day on, Percy stayed close to his family but never lost his curiosity. He would often ask his mother about the world beyond their little farm, and she would tell him stories to satisfy his curiosity. And whenever he took a walk, Percy made sure to stay close to home so he wouldn't get lost again. The end. Iggy the Iguana's Adventure. Once upon a time, in a tropical rainforest, there was an iguana named Iggy. He loved to spend his days basking in the sun and munching on his favorite leaves, but he always dreamed of having a grand adventure. One day, Iggy decided to venture deep into the jungle, far beyond his usual stomping grounds. As he crept through the underbrush, he encountered all sorts of creatures he had never seen before: colorful birds, chattering monkeys, and even a slithering snake. But just as Iggy was starting to feel brave, he heard a loud roar from up ahead. Suddenly, a huge, ferocious jaguar leapt out of the bushes and began chasing him. Iggy ran as fast as his legs could carry him, but the jaguar was getting closer and closer. Just when it seemed like all hope was lost, Iggy spotted a small stream running alongside the path. Without hesitating, Iggy dove into the water and swam downstream. The jaguar tried to follow, but he wasn't a very good swimmer and soon gave up. Iggy emerged from the water safely on the other side, thrilled by his daring escape. From that day on, he realized that even the smallest and most timid creatures could have exciting adventures if they were brave and clever. And so Iggy returned home to his cozy corner of the rainforest, eager to tell all his friends about the wild tale he had to share. The end. The Kindhearted Deer. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a herd of friendly deer. They played and grazed together in the lush green meadow. Among them was a little fawn named Billy. He was known for his kind heart and gentle nature. One day, while Billy was playing with his friends, he noticed a family of rabbits who were lost and scared in the woods. They had wandered away from their home and didn't know how to find their way back. Without hesitation, Billy offered to guide them back to their burrow. He gently led them through the dense forest, avoiding thorny bushes and dangerous predators. When they reached the rabbit's burrow, the grateful family thanked Billy and his friends for their kindness. Billy felt happy that he could make a difference in someone's life. From that day on, Billy became the hero of the forest. Whenever anyone needed help, they knew they could count on him. His kindness and compassion had made him loved by all. The other animals in the forest learned an important lesson from Billy. They realized that even the smallest act of kindness can make a big difference in someone's life. So, they too started showing more kindness to each other. And thus, the forest became a much happier place to live in, all thanks to the kind-hearted deer, Billy. Dingo's Big Adventure. Once upon a time, in the vast Australian outback, there lived a mischievous dingo named Max. Max liked nothing more than exploring the endless stretches of desert, sniffing out new smells, and tracking the local wildlife. One day, while on his travels, Max stumbled upon a group of curious little kangaroos who were lost and couldn't find their way back to their home. Max saw how sad and scared the young kangaroos were and decided to help them. He took it upon himself to guide them through the dangerous terrain and lead them back to their mother. Along the way, Max taught the little kangaroos about the different plants and animals that they encountered, making the journey both fun and educational. Despite several obstacles, including harsh weather conditions and encountering a menacing snake, Max remained determined and continued to lead the way. Finally, after many long hours, they spotted a group of kangaroos hopping toward them. With a joyful burst of energy, the little ones scurried over to their mom as she hugged each of them tightly. The grateful mother kangaroo thanked Max for his bravery and kindness. The little kangaroos, now safe and sound, also thanked Max and cheered with excitement for the adventure. From then on, Max was known throughout the outback as a hero, and the mother kangaroo invited him to visit her family anytime he wanted food or water. And so, with a wag of his tail, Max bid farewell to his new friends, feeling proud of his accomplishment. He knew that he had not only saved the lives of the young kangaroos, but also made a lasting impression on them. And so, Max returned to his wanderings, knowing that he had made a difference in the world. The end. The Cougar and the Rabbit. Once upon a time in a dense forest, a young rabbit named Benny went for a walk to explore the surroundings. Suddenly, he heard a growling sound that scared him. As he turned around, he saw a big cougar approaching him. Benny panicked and tried to run away, but the cougar caught up with him quickly. The cougar stopped him and said, "Please don't run away, little rabbit, I won't hurt you. I am very hungry, and I was hoping you could help me find some food." Benny, frightened at first, gathered his courage and replied, "I'll try my best. What kind of food do you like to eat?" "I usually eat deer or elk, but they are too fast for me. I haven't eaten anything in days, and I'm starving," the cougar replied. Benny thought for a moment and said, "I know where there are plenty of carrots and other vegetables. Would you like me to take you there?" The cougar agreed, and Benny led him to a nearby vegetable garden. As they approached, the farmer saw them and tried to chase the cougar away with a pitchfork. However, Benny bravely stood in front of the cougar and explained they were just looking for some food. The farmer realized that the cougar did not mean any harm and allowed them to enjoy the vegetables. After eating their fill, the cougar thanked Benny for helping him find food. They exchanged goodbyes, and the cougar went back into the wild. From that day on, Benny knew that all creatures, even predators like cougars, appreciated kindness and respect. The end. The brave little buffalo. Once upon a time, in a vast grassland, lived a herd of happy buffalo. The elder buffaloes were kind and wise, while the younger ones were full of energy and humor. However, one little buffalo stood out from the rest. His name was Bongo, and he was small for his age. His horns were crooked, and his fur was scruffy. Unfortunately, this made him a target for bullies, who often teased him for being weak. One day, as Bongo was grazing with his mother, the herd was suddenly attacked by a group of wild dogs. The older buffaloes tried to defend the herd by charging at the dogs, but they were outnumbered. As the pack of dogs closed in on Bongo and his mother, Bongo knew he had to do something. He mustered up all his courage and charged at the biggest dog in the pack. The dog was taken aback by the little buffalo's bravery and stumbled back, giving Bongo enough time to headbutt him with his crooked horns. As the other dogs retreated, Bongo became a hero among the herd. Even the bullies who once teased him praised him for his bravery. From that day on, Bongo was no longer seen as weak, but as a courageous little buffalo who could stand up to anything. From then on, Bongo grew bigger and stronger, and his scruffy coat turned sleek and shining. He was loved and respected among his herd and even became a leader when the old males retired. And whenever the herd faced danger, Bongo would stand at the forefront, his crooked horns and brave heart ready to protect his family. The end.